Today's piece is A Color Song on B by Tomoko Fukui. This is a solo flute piece which was written in the early 2000s. I forget the exact year. Um, this thing is a bit of a hidden gem, like I knew nothing about this composer and I somehow came upon this score. Um, and there's like one live recording on YouTube. It's not a bad score to pull out of your pocket. I remember I had to write this solo flute piece very quickly, and I stole some of the techniques from this. And my composition teacher at the time was like wondering where I got my ideas, and I showed them this piece. They thought the piece was cool. Admittedly, some of the techniques my performer at the time did not pull off or figure out. So, um, that's why my teacher needed the extra bit of explanation. But yeah, what's interesting about this piece is it sort of is centered around this drone on a B in the middle of the treble clef. So it has a very obvious compositional device going on throughout it. But all kinds of things happen. There's some really interesting like difference tones that happen from like singing while playing towards the end here, and it ends pretty high. So it's sort of just like ramping up energy all the way through. Um, Here's some of the extended techniques. So numbers above each note mean fingerings. So I guess it's like not specific fingerings, but oh yeah, no, it is specified. So yeah, there'll be like a little legend that tells you the two different fingerings and then the numbers just to indicate them. So timbral trail kind of thing. That characterizes the start of the piece. There's some uh, key percussion. So yeah, I guess they're regardless of whether it's tongued or not, it's a X note head. Tongue ram. The notation here has diamond note head for the fingered pitch, and then a triangle note head for the sounding pitch. The note head for air sounds in this one is the downward facing triangle. And then what I was describing before, the difference tone stuff. Um, Here they are notating not only the sung pitch, but also the difference tone that you should hear while you're singing. Um, so that's kind of interesting. It's like the pitch you're blowing into the flute stays the same, and then the note you're singing is you're glissing up and down. Then we got naturals with arrows for our quarter tone accidentals, and I guess inhale sounds is just the upward arrow note head. Um, yeah, so I guess lots of not only singing and playing, but inhaling while playing. Also, the PDF I have seems to be signed by the composer. I don't know if this is an actual signature or if that's just printed on every score. Okay, so yeah, there's a bunch of other color songs in her uh, published works, I guess. This is just what I'm seeing in some old performance listings. Yeah, so Fukui has been commissioned by the Venice Biennale, Darmstadt International Freien Kurs. Yeah, so the Darmstadt course for new music. Festival New Music Stuttgart, couple international music festivals in Japan. Her music's been performed at the World Music Days in Hong Kong, Zagreb, Slovakia, and Austria. She organized the ensemble Next Mushroom Promotion, which mostly plays contemporary music. I'm assuming in 2000 something, because in 2005 that ensemble won a prize. Uh, so yeah, they hold a interesting concert in Japan each year. That ensemble has invited variously Helmut Lockenman, Matthias Spangler, Francesco Filide, Stefan Prinz, and others. So, in 2018, she was the first Asian woman to be elected to the board of the ISCM, which has 100 years history. International Society of Contemporary Music, for those who don't know. And yeah, she's based in Tokyo. So, pretty dated materials online. A lot of this seems to be from the 2010s. But it's interesting that she has kind of continued to not only compose but like curate and promote contemporary music in Japan. Next Mushroom Promotion was founded in 2001, as it turns out. Uh, Founded by Motoharu Kawashima and Nozomi Ueda and Tomoko Fukui. I think she's the main founder of it. They also promote new works by Japanese composers, including works by Toshio Hosokawa, Tomoko Fukui, and they've also done some Conlon Nancaro and Julio Estrada. The name is a reference and homage to the work of John Cage, Cage being an important musical philosopher and also a mushroom expert. Maybe not, what is the word? Not a mycologist, but something adjacent to that. Glad to be featuring this composer. Um, and let's listen to this thing. Link in the video description, as always. Haven't listened to it in maybe 5, 6 years, so it's worth refreshing my memory here. Okay, yeah, so this is really fun one. Obviously, very dramatic piece. I love the use of silences and sort of like division of the piece into these sections. Um, the difference tone stuff is really fun, and I'd be curious to hear this with like a high voice because obviously this performer was doing all the singing stuff an octave lower, but the very opening it's like a supposed to be a unison, so I feel like that would might be very different sounding. Um, so yeah, kind of interesting. Really good use of like extreme registers and different registers of the flute, and I think it gives the performer a lot of liberties to go extreme and fake things if they need to fake them. There's like really interesting use of extreme dynamics. I think you have like staying at triple forte here, for example, and then like sforzandi and accents, right? It's like pretty hard not to go for it when the composer is giving you all that, right? I think there's 5 Fs at one point or something. It seems to stay at 4 Fs for a long time. Maybe there's no 5 Fs, but you kind of have to give, like, having worked with flautists, you kind of have to give them stuff like that to push them to go outside of their normal classical, like, ideas of tone and beauty and stuff, right? You got to give them permission, and I feel like dynamics and articulation really go hand in hand with extended techniques, like they really enforce them. So this is a really great example of that, I think. Super interesting thing to study if you're trying to find inspiration for a solo flute piece, I think. Definitely an inspirational piece for me. And it's nice and short, 7 minutes. So, yeah, really cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, so this one person gave me a bunch of Mexican scores, and may have given me this score because the performer of this piece is Mexican. and they're seemingly the only performer of this online. And they are the same performer who did the piece we listened to yesterday by Emmanuel Ontiveros, um, who's a Mexican composer. And also, I think when I was reading into Tomoko's bio here, their ensemble, that mushroom ensemble, played at a pretty notable festival in Mexico. I can't remember exactly, but so there's this sort of like, yes, this is a Japanese composer, but I probably got this score along with all of my Mexican composer scores. So I think that's kind of interesting. Maybe it'll make a splash in Europe or the US or something. Uh, and people just don't know about this piece enough, right? Outside of Mexico or Japan. Um, so yeah, hopefully I'm helping to get the word out.